Introducing Brian Blog's audio articles, now available only at Brian Blog's Corner Club at www.patreon.com/Brian Too Bad TV Solange, my newest upgrade for valued patron members. For older blogs, you can now click on the audio file attachment below the written article. Download it on your Android, iPhone, laptop, or desktop. For newer blogs, simply click on the audio strip as seen in this illustration, and then listen along as you read it, or just choose to listen as I personally narrate yet another one of my classical masterpieces. It will be just like listening to my public videos on YouTube, BitChute, and Black Avenger TV, only you will have exclusive access to audible and written material available only to paying patron members. For as little as $7 a month, you can become a member of this important club of like-minded thinking individuals. Get the latest updates on news, stories trending on social media, and cold case files, as well as new revelations on historical events and political issues. With Brian's blog audio articles, you now get twice the content for the same price. Again, if you want to enjoy a members-only club where you get to choose whether you want to read or listen to my awesome content, sign up for as little as $7 a month. That's less than a standard fast food combo meal these days. Become a member of Brian Blog's Corner Club at www.patreon.com/Brian Too Bad TV Solange and enjoy exclusive access to audio article blog library only available at the Brian Blog's Corner Club today. What's going on, ScrewTube? In the link in the description box and also in the pinned post is a video that I did almost a year ago that was entitled "Not Seeing the Forest for the Trees Equals Black Men." And this was actually one of many videos that I've done over the course of the last 5 years since I've been on YouTube under the pseudonym Brian Solange, that has directly addressed this issue with black men who think that white women are the better option, quote unquote, in regards to dating, marrying, and producing children. Now, given the rush of an increase of Negroes that I am hearing and noticing, not just on my forums, but on other forums and in other avenues of social media, continuing to uplift white women specifically, like these black bimbos do with white men, even in spite of the hashtag Me Too movement, in spite of the fact that Bill Cosby, thus far, is the only man that was caught up in that web of feminist propaganda to get sent to prison at 81 years old after being accused by mostly white females of rape, in spite of the fact that a white woman took half of everything Tiger Woods made on his own. You still have these Negroes uplifting Becky to the point where I have these stupid ass black whores that come on my YouTube channel trolling, talking about, well, if you don't like black women, why don't you just go ahead and get you a Becky and get it over with? Which indicates that they generalize black men as a collective, thinking that we are all weak-minded enough to believe that white women are somehow the universal, ones all fit to all of our problems, like a lot of these pink pill scammed heifers thought, with an emphasis on the past tense, that white men were the answer to all of their problems. You see, just because I don't address black men and this issue of Becky, quote unquote, as much as I do this issue of these black swirlers and Chad, quote unquote, doesn't mean that I don't know that a lot of you Negroes are fuckered in the head enough to believe, in spite of not only hashtag Me Too, I've talked to black men who were, clergy in their church. I talked to one specifically a couple of years ago that told me he was married to 2 white women and got divorced from them. Okay? I've had white women, try to get me in trouble at work. I even made a video some years back that white women, even more than black women, are the main ones that, back when I was in the work farce, as I call it, they were the main ones that were giving me problems on the job. Now, outside of work, on the street, in relationships as neighbors, is black females. But on the job, white women that are in no managerial position, I've had this happen on multiple occasions. They seem to, I don't know if it's because there's so many black men trying to fuck them or what, but they seem to have this misplaced ideology and mentality in their minds that they can control black men on the job. And I can count on, 1, 2, 3, at least 4 occasions, if not half a dozen occasions, where I've gotten into it with white females on the job that were not my manager, not my boss, not my supervisor, but they were trying to play the role of my boss, directly trying to tell me what to do, directly trying to yell at me, and I had to put them in check on multiple occasions. Okay? Hell, my last job before I started running my own business a couple of years ago, that's the reason why I quit. Because of one of these white bimbos that was annoying as living fuck. So, I understand that, like a lot of these, and this is what Mr. Carroll was talking about when he said, and that's one of the reasons why I actually left, the so-called MGTOW and red pill movements. I still have Freudian slips where I say those terms, but I'm moving more into, my own movement that I've created, that those of you know about, called the hashtag Marlboro Man, because I understand the MGTOW movements and Red Pill movements have been tainted with weak-minded Negroes that are still weak to pussy. And not just weak to black female pussy. A lot of these Negroes are weak to white female pussy. Because somehow they think that, just like these bed wenches, they think that a differentiation, a change in her skin pigmentation, somehow makes her a better, nicer person. Now look, I will say this. I do believe, by and large, when you put them side by side, the statistics, such as, abortion rates, such as, being polite and feminine on the surface, at first approach, that there are more white females by the numbers that will approach a black man with respect. But just because you have a female, white or black, that approaches you in a feminine manner initially, does not mean that she's relationship material. It most certainly does not mean that she's going to be a quality woman in a relationship. Okay? A lot of the smart females, and I'm shocked that I have to tell men my age and older this shit, because this is stuff that they should already know. Okay? We know now, in the year 2019, all them dumbass niggas that we grew up with, in high school and college, talking about they were players. No, women are the real players. They always have been. Okay? From legalized marriage contract that binds a man's assets and resources to a woman who didn't do shit to help him get that stuff, to the way these females manipulate a dude to do anything up to and including die or go to prison for her. Okay? Women are the real players. Doesn't matter what color they are. So just because a woman, I've had, and made videos about this shit, I've had women, even little cutie pie looking hood rats, on several occasions since y'all have known me as Brian Solange, approach me, both white and black, with a friendly, big, cheesing, grin and smile on their face. Like, hi, how you doing? Polite, some of them professional, courteous. But then again, I had an ex like that 2 years ago that came to me from this very fucking YouTube that I'm talking to y'all about, and told me that she understood the plight of black men in relation to the issues that they have with black women. And I was foolish enough to believe her. And for the next 2 years, I went through hell in a relationship that I now realize I should have never been through. But that's not just with black bimbos, that's with white bimbos as well. Hence, the black minister that I talked to a couple of years ago that said, after dealing with so many black women in and out of his life, he got married to not one, but two white women. Neither one of those marriages lasted 5 fucking years. Okay? You have to understand female nature. Okay? And now you have female nature that is intermixed with this feminist, immoral culture that we have, that tells women that they can do anything they want to do, suck a dick, be promiscuous, dress like a hoe, but they still have to be respected and seen as proper young ladies. That is a very, very dangerous mix. Why? Because not only does it cheapen the moral character of society, it is also hypocritical and contradicting, in the sense that men can't just go out and do whatever the fuck they want to do and still be seen as, proper gentlemen. Okay? A woman or a man will tell you that a dude is an asshole, or that he's a pervert, or that he's a cheapskate, or that he's or that he's ugly, or that he's fat in a second. But you do the same thing to a woman, and you'll get the response that I get, like from this all-American white bimbo that got in her feelings and got her panties in a bunch when I made that video about Jessica Simpson, as y'all know about a couple of weeks ago. This broad actually had the unmitigated gall to come to me and say this. Let me read it for y'all. And this was a white chick too. She says, quote, "Your last statement says it all. I guess you feel good having the last laugh in the end. You are just another one of those guys who apparently were not the attractive guy in high school, mad about not getting the hot girl back then. By the way, having babies screw up our bodies. And yes, when you are pregnant, your limbs swell up and you get puffy. Maybe if men had the kids, they would be more understanding and not so ugly about body changes. Some women are blessed with good genetics or have kids young and their bodies snap back or somewhat back. When you have children in your mid-30s, it's a whole other animal. Plus, you don't know if a woman has depression or a hormone change after pregnancy. Jessica has always been a beautiful woman, and she still is. Let's be a little more loving to each other and not so judgmental. Men too, and they don't go through the trauma of body distortion from pregnancy. Most people who judge others about their size or weight do not have issues with weight themselves. Some people hardly eat and their bodies blow up regardless. It's Jessica's personal issue, not for all of us to throw her under the bus." Now, I find this particularly interesting for two reasons. Number one, if this female didn't have an avatar showing her goofy ass face, I would have thought this was a black female. Why? Because she hit some of the very same talking points as I mentioned in the community post of these black females, which in so many words was, only God can judge and you just mad because you couldn't get no pussy. Yet I bet, and one of you brothers had mentioned this, I bet this hoe was one of the same ones that would sit her white ass up and watch me make all these videos denouncing black feminism and black females, and she didn't have a problem with it. It wasn't until I made one fucking video about a white bimbo falling off, hitting that brick wall that y'all talking about, letting herself go, whatever you want to call it, that she got in her feelings, got mad, and spoke out and said something. Okay? I told y'all before, and I will say this again. These white females, one of the few things that they do a little better than black women is they're able to cover up, they're able to front a little better. Black women are usually so bitter, they just let it all come out, right there in front of you. Some can hold it in, but some, you see the scowl on their face as soon as you look at them, especially when you're in the customer service line. These white females, they'll cover that shit up, that they're crazy, that they're batshit crazy. They will cover that shit up until they get you behind closed doors. You fuck them a couple of times, and God forbid if you marry them or start dating them, you will find out just how crazy these broads are. Okay? You will find out just how psychotic they are, just how insecure they are, just how low self-esteem they are. Just like these black ones. Okay? Especially when you're talking about American westernized women, you can't trust none of them. Okay? And quite frankly, to be honest with y'all, because people keep talking about African women, I used to be under that false assumption that African women were different. But I actually dated a Ghanaian woman for 11 months, well before any of y'all knew me. And I thought, we were going to run away, get married, just like I did in my last relationship. Complete fucking fail. Complete fail. Why? Because even though she still lived in Ghana, okay, she was a student over here, but she lived in Ghana, she had been exposed to westernized feminist culture. You can't trust none of these hoes. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. And if you don't understand that in the year 2019, I guess you're going to be like Idris Elba, Russell Wilson, or any of the rest of these dumbass dudes that are on their third or fourth fucking marriage, trying to turn a hoe into a housewife. Okay? So you go ahead and you keep believing that Becky is your motherfucking friend. But I'm going to leave you with what I said in that community post at the very end. Okay? I said, You go ahead and you keep thinking Stephanie and her sister Abby are a better option than Kiana and Dinasia. Just piss them off and see what happens. In the meantime, I'll keep on smoking this Marlboro. Hashtag I'm a Marlboro man. Talk to you later, guys.